Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo, an NCAA champion in 1995 with the Connecticut Huskies, goes live on ESPN, and she exposes all the Angel Reese critics about her rebounding, and you don't want to miss. But before we get off into today's podcast, tell a friend to tell a friend. Well, Hall of Famer and NCAA champion in 1995, Rebecca Lobo, went on national television on ESPN, and she exposed all the Angel Reese critics, and you won't believe what she had to say. Now, we all know Rebecca Lobo's accolades. She played with the New York Liberty from 1997 to 2001. 2002, she played with the Houston Comets. 2002, 2003, she played with the Springfield Spirits. And in 2003, she played with the Connecticut Suns. Now, she got a career full of accomplishments. In 1999, she was a WNBA All-Star. 1997, she was all WNBA second team. 1995, like I alleviated to, she was an NCAA champion with the Connecticut Huskies, coming from that Geno Auriemma, pedigree. She was a two-time Big East Player of the Year in 1994 and 1995. She was the Big East Tournament Most Valuable Player in 1994. She was a three-time first-team All-Big East from 1993 to 1995. And also, Connecticut retired her jersey, number 50, and she's inducted into the Hall of Fame. So we all know what Rebecca Lobo brings to, the table. She knows basketball. And for the people that don't know basketball and out here putting this narrative out about Angel Reese and her rebounding, about getting all these rebounds off of her missed shots. And we seen Angel Reese clap back on Twitter talking about if it was easy, why come everybody else ain't doing it? And she has some choice words to say to our haters. But Rebecca Lobo standing on business. And we all know Rebecca Lobo, when you talk about the Rookie of the Year race, we all know who Rebecca Lobo said that she had winning the Rookie of the Year going into the Olympic break. She said she had Caitlin Clark. So this is no way saying that, she is all this about Angel Reese. She just calling a spade a spade. And I'm glad that somebody really put this, narrative to bed and exposing all these Angel Reese critics. And that's what she did live on the air on ESPN. So when you're talking about rebounding, we're watching history right now. This is historical what Angel Reese is doing. We've seen nobody in the WNBA ever since 1997 do the things that she's doing rebounding the basketball. So I want you guys to take a listen to what Rebecca Lobo had to say when she exposed all these Angel Reese critics, and then we'll come back and we'll finish the show.
Last thing, I mentioned Angel Reese, you saw it in the highlights, third straight 20-rebound game, a feat never accomplished by any woman ever in the WNBA. I mean, you were a front court player. That's how you became a Hall of Famer on the front line. Take everyone inside the mindset to emerge with a board total like that in back-to-back-to-back games as a rookie in the best league in the world.
Well, certainly. Let's put this in a little bit of perspective. This is one of the greatest rebounding seasons we have seen in the history of this league. We've never had a player average 12 rebounds per game. Angel is close to 13 right now. So we've never had a player average 5.2 offensive rebounds per game. That is what she's doing night in and night out. She is relentless on the glass, and to be doing it as a 6'3" rookie has been remarkable. And some of her critics likes to say, she gets a lot of offensive rebounds off of her own misses. Well, our stats and information group looked that up. If you take away all of the offensive rebounds off her own misses, guess what? She's still leading the league in offensive rebounds per game. She has been remarkable, historically remarkable on the glass.
Yeah, A'ja Wilson's doing things we've never seen in the 28-year history of the league, and so is Angel Reese. And the Caitlin Clark-Angel Reese connection seemingly will never end because they're each trying to hold on to the final 2 spots in the playoffs, 7th and 8th, as the sprint to the 40-game regular season draws closer. Rebecca, thank you.
Now, you heard what Rebecca Lobo said, man, and she kind of broke it down, man. She really exposes all the critics. So basically, she was stating, we've never seen nobody in the WNBA ever do what Angel Reese is doing. And then she went on to say, out of the 374 rebounds she has to date, you take away the 52 offensive rebounds that everybody claims that she's getting off of her own miss, she would still be leading the WNBA in rebounding. So make it make sense. So you can't use that narrative no more. So that she debunked that. That's all out the window. And if you go back and look at what she did in her collegiate career, I'm not even going to talk about what she did at the University of Maryland, but what she did at the University of Maryland, what she did at LSU, she was a double-double machine. This is what Angel Reese brings to the table. So her rebounding, you cannot take that away from her. So this notion out here that, you know, she's only leading the WNBA in rebounding because she's getting her own misses, stat padding. Rebecca Lobo, she debunked that. She exposed all the Angel Reese critics, all the Angel Reese haters. So you can't use that no more. So what are you going to use now? You take away the 52 offensive rebounds she's getting off her own misses. She's still leading the WNBA in rebounding. Now, the crazy thing about it is, you know, like I said, Rebecca Lobo standing on business, like I said, and she even put out a quote, you know, on her thing about Angel Reese. And let's take a look. She says, some of her critics like to say she gets a lot of offensive rebounds off her own misses. Well, our stats and information group looked that up. If you take away all the offensive rebounds of her own misses, she's still leading the league in offensive reboundings per game. Rebecca Lobo. Now, you see that right there. Angel Reese is leading the league in rebounding at 12.9, almost 13. Well, we're going to round it off to 13. And A'ja Wilson is right behind her at 11.9. And A'ja Wilson came off of a big game against Chicago where she had 20 and 18. But Angel Reese, you know, had 11 and 22. So what Angel Reese is doing is historical. What she's doing is historical. And we just watching history rewrite itself every time she goes on the court because she's rewriting history about her own rebounds. Now she's passed Sylvia Fowles, you know, for the Chicago Sky's all-time leading rebounder. Now she's approaching Tina Charles's record, and she has 10 games to go. And all she needs is, I think, like 29 more rebounds, or she'll get that in 2 games. So Rebecca Lobo, like I said, standing on business. She exposed all the Angel Reese critics. She really exposing all these YouTube content creators that are making these videos about Angel Reese stat pattern. She's exposing the people that want to make comments about it, the people that don't know basketball. And you talk about rebounding, and this is the only thing that you can say negative about Angel Reese is stat padding. You go that far to continuously make videos about Angel Reese stat padding. She debunked that. Take away the offensive rebounds that she's getting off her misses that y'all claim, she's still leading the WNBA in rebounding. And shout out to Showtime on Point for, you know, making an emphasis, you know, on Angel Reese about her rebounding, because I've seen his channel. He's covered, you know, a lot of videos in the past about, you know, Angel Reese's rebounding and what it takes to be an elite rebounder. And that's what Angel Reese is. She's an elite rebounder. And you don't have to like her, but you don't have to, you know, dog her out outside of basketball, because this is what she's doing. She's, you know, we watching history from the rebounding aspect from a woman. Like Rebecca Lobo said, 6'3", and she's going in there banging against the greatest women in basketball. And she's still doing this. That's what's translated from the NCAA all the way over to the WNBA. So I appreciate Rebecca Lobo coming out, standing on business, live on air, you know, shutting these critics up. So what are y'all going to say now? What are y'all going to say now? So everybody that comes in the comment section talk about she's stat padding, well, you'll go over to one of these channels that focus on Angel Reese stat padding. But we're going to call a spade over here. And, you know, she trumped y'all today. So shout out to Rebecca Lobo for coming out, standing on business. And we know Rebecca Lobo has Caitlin Clark for Rookie of the Year going into the Olympic break. I don't know what her position is now, but she just let y'all know the narrative that y'all trying to sprue around here. And if it fits your narrative, you're going to keep talking about it. Can't talk about it no more. She put that to bed. So you guys let me know what y'all think about Rebecca Lobo's comments today on ESPN Live on Air, talking about Angel Reese and her rebounding ability and the historical run that she's on, the greatest woman in WNBA history to rebound a basketball. Make sure you got your post notifications on. Make sure you turn that on. It's very important. So, every time Simply Ball Dropping drops another hot banger, or if Simply Ball Dropping goes live, like I say, before you get up out the door, before you put your shoes on, do me a favor. Give this video a thumbs up. And that's going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.